the discovery of the double helix many, many years ago, back in 1953, basically set the stage for a lot of the studies that we do today. So now we've learned through sequencing studies and learning how people are different genetically. This has led towards many new discoveries in terms of identifying new biological targets or better understanding pathways that underlie complex diseases. So my research is focused on looking at genetic variation underlying different populations, including populations of African ancestry. So we're particularly interested in bone mineralization. So there have been several genome-wide association studies that have been conducted in European populations, but the African populations is currently understudied. And so we've done a large association analysis combining 6 different cohorts so far, looking specifically at individuals of African ancestry and identifying African ancestry specific variants that are related to bone mineralization. And this is important because we know that the variants that are important for bone mineralization could be different between European populations and African ancestry populations. And so by studying this much understudied population, I think we can identify some new biological targets that are specifically relevant to specific populations.
My research primarily focused on study genetic variations relevant to the human diseases, or you can say that genetic determinants of the human diseases. And by using the genome-wide association study design, by genotyping millions of the genetic variation, for example, single nucleotide polymorphism, or looking at the whole genome sequence, which is directly sequenced 3 billion of the human genome, and then try to using that variations to correlate with the disease's risk. So this is my research is about, which is to using the observation from the 3-dimensional DNA chromatic interactions to solve the questions, which is why genetic variation actually affect gene functions and then affect diseases.
Looking at DNA is important because we can understand the different genetic variation that is important for different diseases. And so this all goes back to your programming that you receive at birth, which is encoded through your DNA. And what we do is we look at these specific variants that are in your DNA and look to see how they're associated with various diseases.